Hello, happy Sunday. Whew, I'm out of breath. And not because I was working out. I was chasing after dogs and dog proofing my downstairs really fast. And those kids can move, I'm telling you. Anyway, happy Sunday, and thank you for watching the video. I will go ahead and just jump right on into it. And so what I want to talk to everyone about this evening, I'm trying to develop the message that I want Fearlessly Badass to promote. And there's lots of different little ones, but the main focus is really about self-love. And I've talked about it before. It's nothing new. It's nothing we haven't heard about from other people, but it's something that I feel that if that's lacking, we're all going to have a hard time moving on, doing things. So for example, if we are lacking in self-love and we are on a fitness journey, at what point do you become happy with where you are? At what point do you become satisfied? Because if you're not working on your self-love and you work, you're constantly comparing yourself to someone else. And regardless of how much you succeed, you are always going to think that you have not gone as far as they have. And that is sad, right? I mean, I've done it. So this is not about fitness. It's more about the self-love. And I wanted to share a couple of short stories that just kind of, that just kind of, I guess, express that. I have never been one to really feel like I had to follow the trends. And I've told myself that. And then as I started looking back on decisions I've made throughout the years, I realized that I am very easily affected by what I think other people think is the right thing or the important thing or what I should do. Small deal. When I was younger, I think everyone remembers the Tiffany bracelets, or from Tiffany & Company, the little silver linked bracelets with a little heart that was on them. I remember every single girl having one of those, every single girl. And I would go home and I'd ask my parents for one. And of course they shot me down. They're like, we're not spending money on this. You are not getting this bracelet. And I remember being so upset because I felt like that defined me, that I had to have that bracelet in order to fit in order to feel like I was someone, because everyone had one. And one day my dad came home and he gave me a little gift box. I opened the gift box and it was not the Tiffany's bracelet. It was a bracelet that looked very similar. It was a silver one. It had the heart on it. And at first I remember being kind of annoyed that he would bring that home. And then I started thinking about it and I realized that he had understood how important that was to me. I wasn't going to spend the money on it, but he got me something that he thought that I wanted. And so it didn't become me wanting that bracelet. It wasn't important about that bracelet. What became important was the fact that my dad went out of his way to who knows how many stores to find that bracelet. And if you ask him today, I don't know if he'd remember or not, but it's something that that has stuck with me for so long. Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate everyone jumping on. It's never easy going live. I feel very passionate about it. I feel very excited to share. And so it's really nice to have people joining. So thank you. So anyway, so that's when I was younger. Now, the biggest thing, as I was getting older, I was getting ready to get married, and my now husband and I were talking about getting married. We had been together for, I think, 7 years by the time we decided to get married. And when we announced it to everybody, they're like, well, what about a ring? And I was like, oh, I don't have a ring. They're like, well, you need to get an engagement ring. And I was like, no, it's not important. It's not a big deal. And, but then the more people that asked me about it, the more that I started to feel very self-conscious. And I felt like if I didn't have a ring, there was something wrong with our relationship. That meant that Jamie didn't care enough about me, Even though, mind you, this entire time I didn't want a ring. I didn't need one. It was not something that was important to me. But the more that people asked me and the more that people talked about it, the more I felt like I needed it, because I felt like that was what we had to do. So what did I do? I went onto Etsy and I found a very cheap knockoff engagement ring, and I wore it and I pretended that it was a real ring. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's the prettiest thing ever. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's amazing. Like, oh, what great taste, and this, that, and the other thing. And went through the wedding. There was a matching band with it. And I just kept wearing it because, you know, it's almost like you have to have that, right? Like that's what's expected in society. And so therefore I had to have it. And it took me a while one day I was like, what the heck am I doing? What am I doing? What am I pretending to be? What am I trying to do? This was not important, but others defined it as important. And so therefore I believed it was. So I'll show you what I have. And these are really popular. This right here is a silicone ring. Okay. A lot of people who do sports will wear it. And it costs maybe like $12. I bought a bunch of these. And this is what I wear as my wedding ring. Because I finally came to terms with the fact that our marriage was not defined by how much money we spent on an engagement ring. It was not defined by how much money went into the diamond. It was not defined by me showing it off, which please don't, anyone who has a ring, this is not me bashing that at all. This is just me explaining that I bought into what I thought was important and what was meaningful. And I thought that having that defined my relationship, and it didn't. It didn't make me happy. It actually made me kind of uncomfortable because I'm like, someone's going to find out. And then I'm going to be really embarrassed when somebody finds out because they're going to know. And then they're not going to tell me. And just all these awful thoughts, right? So this is very strange because this is me coming clean about this, right? It's all about the symbol. I have always been someone that is about what something means. Like the thought, the feeling, the love, the consideration that goes into a gift. So that Tiffany's bracelet my dad got me when I was a little girl, cherish it. I still have it. This ring, just the symbol of this ring is what's important to me, not the amount of money, not the size. None of that matters. And so as I began thinking about this a couple of weeks ago, I realized that there are so many times in life that we feel that we are defined by other people's expectations, that we are defined by what other people consider important. And while those things may be important to them, we should never take what someone else is doing and lay those same standards on ourselves. Ever. Never, never, never. Because you will get to a point where you realize that it is meaningless. And then you wonder why you put that thing, that idea, that whatever it is, on such a high pedestal. This also came to mind recently because I was training for a half marathon. And the reason, I'm not a runner. I mean, I run occasionally, but I'm not a runner. So this came to mind when I was training for my half marathon, and the reason I decided to do it is I thought it would be interesting and challenging, but I also thought that by completing that, it meant that I was a good athlete. By completing a half marathon, that means I accomplished something. There are so many other things that I have worked for that I have accomplished, and I don't need to take someone else's goals and make them mine, right? That is not what is important. I don't need to take what someone else finds as a goal, as a standard, and make them mine. That's not what it's about. Because at the end of the day, that's not what's going to make me happy. That's not what is going to define me. That is not what is going to make me feel successful, feel accomplished, feel loved. And you need to find the things that work for you. I need to find the things that work for me. Because that, in the end, is what's going to make me happy. So, just to wrap it all up, I wanted to share 5 ways to cultivate self-love. Because like I said, in the end, that is what matters. That is what's important. You have to focus on yourself first and what is important to you and what is going to help you grow, what is going to motivate and inspire you first before anything else. So these are the 5 things. Number 1, act on what you need rather than what you want. Act on what you need rather than what you want. So just because I thought that I wanted, like I was supposed to want a diamond ring, I was supposed to want to accomplish a half marathon, doesn't mean that that is actually what I needed. It doesn't mean that it's fulfilling to me. And when I thought that I was doing those things, that's what made me miserable, is because I took someone else's standards and applied them to myself instead of focusing on what I needed. All right, number 2, practice good self-care. So what is that? Nutrition, fitness, meditation, yoga. I don't think it matters what it is that we do in life. We have to take care of ourselves first. There are so many diseases, illnesses. Some of them can't be helped. I understand that. But there are so many things going on right now that we could either help prevent or just not even encounter if we work on our nutrition as medicine, our fitness, we take time to meditate, yoga, take care of that stress. Because if you don't have stress, God bless you. I don't know if anyone doesn't have stress, but we have to find ways to deal with it. All right, so number 3, third way to cultivate self-love, protect yourself. This is surrounding yourself with the right people, motivating, inspiring, loving people. This has taken me, and I feel like I've always done a really great job of surrounding myself with positive people. But I don't think I've always invested in those relationships the way that I should. And that is something that I'm working on. So I am surrounding myself with women who take nutrition, fitness, wellness, like that as a priority of theirs. Because I want that to be a priority of mine. And so I want to be inspired by them. Hi, Ashley. And so the second thing is I have, 1, found a church that I absolutely love. And 2, I've found a Bible study with women who are so loving and encouraging that it's playing such a pivotal, like it's just so important in my everyday life. I'm getting text messages, regular Facebook messages from them, and I'm surrounded by that every single day. And so I'm protecting myself. I'm surrounding myself with those types of people, and that is so important. All right, number 4, fourth way to cultivate self-love. Forgive yourself. All right, we beat ourselves up when we make mistakes. I make the wrong decision. I go down the wrong path. And instead of just moving on, I think about that and I beat myself up over that. I'm guessing a lot of us do that. And it's awful because the second that you start doing it, it is just like, it just dumps. It just dumps on you. And then instead of moving forward, you're stuck in that state of just thinking of all the negative things and all the bad things. So forgiveness. We talk about forgiving people all the time, but we have to learn to forgive ourselves. For whatever it is, it could be something super small, large, it doesn't matter. We have to learn to forgive ourselves for anything, all right? And number 5, live intentionally. Live intentionally. The things that we do each day, don't just do them. Don't just, get by. Why would we do that? Yes, we have one life. We hear that. We have one life. It's this great long. No, life is not long. I mean, it can go away at any moment, right? Our relationships with people, for whatever reason, can end. We need to do stuff every single day that is intentional. We need to plan our time to be intentional. I know I've gotten wrapped up in watching TV. And instead of taking time to spend with my husband or friends or whomever, I was focused on that. So now I will schedule that time, that TV time, because I do like my TV, but it's in small increments and it's at specific times. because now I have to intentionally make time for my husband. I have to intentionally make time to work out, to prepare food, to spend time reading the Bible, because that to me has become incredibly important in my life. And I have to be so intentional with doing all of that stuff because it helps me grow. It helps me become a better person, a more loving person. And that is what helps me day in and day out. So those are my 5 things. So the ways to cultivate self-love: act on what you need rather than what you want. Practice good self-care, nutrition, fitness, meditation, yoga. Protect yourself by surrounding yourself with positive, motivating, loving, inspiring people. Forgive yourself, and live intentionally. Okay, so that's about all I have for this evening. I just want to say thank you for jumping on at any point. It really means a lot to me. This is what I am striving to accomplish with Fearlessly Badass. And I hope that you all can get something out of it. And I hope that it's just, it's just the direction that this should go in, because I feel very, very inspired to do it. So have a wonderful Sunday. I think this is something I kind of want to do every Sunday, just to, wrap up the weekend, kick off the week, and just start off with a positive mindset going into the new week. So, yep, that's about it. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. All right, bye.